is a great renunciation. One thing keep in mind, Bhagwan Mahavir took the Diksha self-initiated. There was no guru. Okay, very, Tirthankar, when they take the Diksha, they are self-initiated. Okay, so the great renunciations, then afflictions of Sulap, no, these are the Upsarga and Parishaha that they went through it. These are the kind of effort, 12.5 years of the Diksha's life. Okay, this is the ascetic life. Uh, these are the major incidents, you will see it. The affections by Sulapini, Chandakosik serpent, that incident, I think many of you know, the Chandakosik serpent, deadly tortured by Sangam. Then Chandan Bala incidents, like she is the one giving the Bakula, the for Parana, and the last calamity is the nail in the ears. Okay, so that's the 12.5 years. At the end of this last incident, Bhagwan Mahavir attains the Kevalgnan. All right. Now, what are in 12.5 years? What did Bhagwan Mahavir did? Because he did not deliver any lectures. Okay. What he did is nothing but dhyan, meditation, all the time. Only things whenever he felt like he needs some food, he went and got some gochri and food. That is it. So if you notice it, this is the complete record of the fasting that occurred during 12.5 years. That once 6 month fasting, once 5 months and 25 days, that's nothing but that Chandan Bala time. Bhagavan Mahavir was with certain avigraha, was traveling from door to door, and there is no place, any place he found his avigraha is fulfilled. And even though he was going for the gochri, he comes back empty-handed. And that is the 5 months and 25 days after that, Chandan Bala completes his avigraha, and uh, that was the second highest fasting that occurred. Fasting for 4 months, 9 times. Fasting for 3 months is 2 times. 2.5 months fasting was 2 times, and so on and so forth. I don't want to go through it. But important one is just the last item, that Parna days. In 12.5 years, Bhagwan Mahavir did Parna 349 days. That means it is like 12 years and 6 months and 15 days. That's uh, the total. And in that one, Bhagwan Mahavir ate only 1 year. In the 12 years, so it's like 12 days, one parna on an average. I'm just trying to say 12 or 13 days is one parna. So if you notice it, that he was a great tapasvi also. But he was more meditative, because he did not use his time for anything else but until the realization of his own soul, of his own nature. And he did that dhyan, meditation, in a different posture. Okay, you want to make sure that his mind is completely under control of his. Our mind is not in our control. We cannot make mind still, no matter what we do. It happened in the beginning, the same thing to Mahavir. But through meditation, he controls his mind. And when he completely controls his mind, then and then the Keval Gnan occurs. Okay? So that is the kind of the things you have to see. So he was more dhyani than tapasvi even. Tapasvi means he did not took the vows, I'm going to do 6 months fastings or I'm going to do 4 months fasting or 3 months. It happened whenever he felt like his body needs some nutrients, he went for gochari. Okay. And that on an average once every 12 days or 13 days, something like that. So these are the kind of the observation if you see it from the stories of the Lord Mahavir. Okay. If you have any question, like if you don't follow it, no, and now you are other things are not really in line with you, making sense with you, you can always unmute and ask the question, okay? But otherwise, I will continue here. Then, omniscient life. After 12.5 years of Diksha, Bhagavan Mahavir attained the Kevarna. It's in the Rujuvalika river, okay, near the bank of the Rujuvalika river. The light of the omniscience. But after person attains the omniscience, they deliver the discourse. At that time, there was no human being there. So in his Diksha, in his omniscience celebration, only heavenly devs came and animals came. He delivered the sermon to them. But they were not of that things. They can renounce the world or anything. Okay? So the first discourse was completely failure because he could not convince anybody to renounce the world and take it. So they call it in the commentary of the Bhagavan Mahavir's life, that was, this discourse was failure. The next day, he went to the nearby town, and if you read the Bhagavan Mahavir stories also, that time, the 11 Gandhar Brahman, they are the Brahmans, most knowledgeable people. They all came at that time, and Bhagavan Mahavir solved all their questions to answer properly, and they all took the Diksha. So it is the next day, the 11 learned Brahman took the Diksha, Chandan Bala took the Diksha by taking the 5 great vows, 5 Mahavrats. Then, who become the first Shravak? That they took 12 vows of the lay people. Okay? And so the first Shravak was the Anand Shravak. He took the 12 vows. He was the richest person. And he took the 12 vows, out of which 5 Anuvrat, 3 Grunuvrat, and 4 Shikshavrat. And Sulsa Shravika was the first Shravika. And there are many other Shravikas. No, they took the Diksha. Not a Diksha. They took the vows of 12 vows of the lay people. And Bhagavan Mahavir is the one who gave them these vows. That's how they established the order, that there is at least one sadhu, one sadhvis, one shravak, and one shravika. Then and then you establish the fourfold order of Chaturvid Sangh. Otherwise, you cannot call it Chaturvid Sangh. Okay, and this tradition is only if I read the other Eastern religion, this tradition is in the Jainism. Buddhism, when Buddha attained the omniscience, whatever, he only accepted man in his order. Okay, Buddha never accepted women. It is later on, after like 3 years or something like that time period, I don't remember, when his aunt came with 7 heads and bare walking footing. Okay, what do you see in me that I cannot do what you are doing and what man can do, which I cannot do it? There was not answer with Buddha, and he has to initiate it. That this is the again Buddhist literature explains it. I'm not putting my own 2 cents worth in it. Okay, and from that they accepted the women in the order. Okay, then I talked about the 11 Gandhar, and we will go through little bit details on the Gandhar things and Tejolisha things with the Gosalak, and ultimately the liberation things. And then what we are learning it, okay, from Bhagwan Mahavir's life. Okay. So let me go here.